Hi, I'm Pete, and this is Chris. We're just outside the gym that we've been training in for years. About 12 years we've been training together. Chris is my best mate. We used to come here virtually every day, especially when we were in our 20s, lifting weights, making gains, and basically, really looking after ourselves and getting in pretty good shape. So that was basically up until towards the end of last year, when Chris was sadly diagnosed with motor neurons disease. I'm sure you've heard of what it is, but basically it's a terminal illness that's going to cause all his muscles to waste away. And I'm not just talking about the muscles that he uses for doing curls, deadlifts and bench presses. I'm talking about all the muscles, the ones he uses in his hands. To breathe, pick up a knife and fork, to talk. So it's a rare disease, but and as such, it actually struggles to gain media coverage, to gain funding, and as a result, there is currently no treatment for it. There's no cure for it. People with motor neurons disease can sometimes, from diagnosis, only live for a couple of years or less, depending on, there's a lot of misdiagnosis, or depending on how rapidly it progresses. You've got Stephen Hawking is probably the most famous person you know of, who's actually lived for many years with it, but the guy used to be a rower at the university, so he's now found himself in a wheelchair and can't use his own voice. There's no treatment for it. So Chris and I wanted to do something about it while Chris still can. Fortunately, it hasn't been too quick to progress in Chris since the diagnosis. There's actually a lot of people who were diagnosed around at the same time as Chris who ended up in a far.
So a lot of people who I've met in the hospital have unfortunately passed away since I've been diagnosed with this. I'm just happy that I'm still fighting it and fighting it quite strong. Every day's a new challenge for me. It just makes me appreciate everything that I have had up to now, and this is a real good opportunity for me to help make awareness of this life-changing disease with great help from my best mate here, and between the pair of us we want to do our best to make a difference with this disease.
So we want to give Motor Neurons Disease Association a lift in funding. We want to give people with motor neurons disease a lift by through awareness, through funding, through the type of things that are going to be supported by the Motor Neurons Disease Association, which is to helping them with their lives, helping them come to terms with the disease, but also physically helping them as they need physical support as their muscles waste away. And also they fund clinical trials, they fund scientific research into actually looking for a cure for this and looking for treatments. So what we want to do is, as we've been talking about challenges, we want to actually challenge people to lift, and we all need muscles to live. Chris's body relies on his muscles, whether it's the muscles he uses to breathe or the muscles that he uses to walk. We all rely on our muscles. I personally believe that resistance training is one of the best forms of exercises you can do, so if nothing else, I'd like to actually get some people to do resistance exercise. If this is what motivates them, then fantastic. So my challenge to you is to set yourself or your lifting partner or your training partner, your spouse, your family, your friends, your colleagues, set someone a challenge to get to the gym. Or it can be outdoors. There's lots of things that you can do there with regards to resistance exercises, and set yourself a challenge. Post on Facebook or Instagram or whatever social channels you like to use. Say what the challenge is, and share a link to the fund giving to the Just Giving page to encourage people to donate. Make a donation yourself, please. And what we want to try and do is get as many people as we can to take up a lifting challenge, share the page, and let's give motor neurone disease a lift. Let's give people with motor neurone disease a lift.
And at the same time, let's get some gain